What's good with y'all? I'm Big Gipp.
I'm James Worthy.
And right now we live on Big Facts.
You're listening to Big Facts with Big Bank and DJ Scream.
Live from the Trap Music Museum, Big Bank, DJ Scream, Baby J. We are Team Big Facts, and today we would like to welcome the ATL OG, Big Gipp, and his artist, James Worthy here. To Big Facts. What's up, everybody?
What's happening?
How everybody feeling? Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Scream, before I let you go any further, I can't be that man artist. That man has sold 50 million records, man.
Okay.
That's James Worthy, man.
Apologies.
I'm sorry, bro. I just had to tell you before you get too far gone.
Okay.
It's all good.
He brought family. He brought family.
The fam.
Yeah. Before we get into our conversation, we got to have a conversation about all this. What's going on in front of you, man? Bank just consumed some of what are these Gipp's products?
Yeah, man. This no more pain. This is one of the Gipp products. I got about 40 products, but this is like one of my #1 sellers. Okay. We about in like 9 states, but we all over the United States. I can send it to you, but it's like 1,000 milligrams of CBD, and I mean it's for anybody that got real bad nerve damage. You got arthritis, you got any kind of pain that's kind of like internal. It can really help you. All you gotta do is go take you a nice bath, let your pores open, and put this on. And people use this every day for like almost like lotion, because a lot of people who do, people who work on cars, do construction, this is the kind of stuff that they need. So this is just another alternative for taking opioids, and it's just one of the Gipp Goodie products.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you got some shots there.
Yeah. Okay. So these right here, this is pina colada. That was pina colada. That's margarita. That's Sex on the Peach. This is whiskey. This is pina colada. This is vodka. This is rum, and that's tequila. Now the main thing about this, these are called mocktails. They taste exactly like what you see on the label, but I took the alcohol out and I infused it with Delta 8. Now the reason why I did that, because Gipp never been a drinker. I always been a smoker. So this is a way that now, this is also non-alcoholic. So for the people that can't drink, people that starting to, the older you get, alcohol gonna make you start feeling bad. And I'm on the road a lot, so alcohol make you feel bad the older you get. So this is a way that you can still have the taste of alcohol, but the results of you smoking weed. So I call it smoking drinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Innovation.
Smoking drinking. Yeah, man. It's just a new way to go for we in a new world. So it's about being healthy. So the longer you live, the healthier you are. And a lot of times with alcohol, man, it destroys the body from the inside out. So it's just another one of the products that I kind of like brought to the line to kind of like help our people get away from a lot of the prescription drugs that's out there. Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about, like, you've been on a campaign. You've been very vocal of late. You know what I'm saying? You've been saying what's on your mind. What sparked that? Like, what sparked you to come out and just say, man, I'm finna start having these conversations and just saying what's on my mind?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't have spoken unless I had something to give back to the game, and that was music. The reason why I spoke, because I'm seeing that the history is being rewritten. And a lot of the people that in the South that really helped us and helped us find our way are really being wrote out of the history. For example, the Grammys. You didn't see Luke Skywalker. You didn't see all of the Ghetto Boys. If the South is gonna be represented, let's represent it the right way. And you can never leave Luke Skywalker out. So me personally, I just wanted to speak because the game is getting to a place where anybody can call themselves an artist just because they know how the formula of putting records together. The only reason why the formula of records is so easy to put together now is because of technology. From a person like me that used to be out in the studio all day just hoping that Organized Noise would say, Gipp, come in and rap. I sat through Parental Advisory album.
Right.
And I sat through Outkast albums. Until it's time for me to be called, I sat in the parking lot. And I'm just like, a lot of times when I look at what's going on right now, I got a problem with the industry because
Right.
first of all, you got an industry that's really like raping our young. Now, why would I say that? The 360 deal was created only because they did not want us to continue to gain power as artists. They didn't want any more of these artists to become as big as certain artists are right now. So what they did, the executives did, they went into a room and they created this 360 deal. Now what's so funny about this is that when I first started signing contracts, we was paid one way, and now with this 360 deal, I'm paid a totally different way. Well, since I've been around for a minute, you gonna change the way that I was getting paid on my albums 20 years ago?
Right, like you should be grandfathered into the standard payment.
Right, but that's not the case. So I have to come out here and say, hey man, check this out. How do you create something like a 360 deal? And then on the other end, you create a lane for AI artists. So how are you gonna 360 me? But then you creating artists and putting them in our face like we supposed to get enthused about robots.
What's that?
The robots.
Artificial
No, the
intelligence,
robot
like,
rappers.
Like how you know how they had the Tupac sonograms and shit? They making rap niggas out of them now that make albums and perform
Hologram.
and everything.
Hologram.
Oh God, I crossed my heart to hope the faint.
Like a
Hologram.
computer rapper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody. It ain't nobody in it.
It's not called a sonogram. It's called,
You said
what is it called?
sonogram.
No,
Hologram.
A highlighter. I mean a hologram. Yeah, like
But that's the reason why.
So ain't nobody controlling them. They rapping on their own.
So what they doing is
they have handlers.
they have people who go in and they have computer voices that sound like your favorite rappers, and they can create songs now sounding like your favorite rapper without the real
Like
rapper.
they take 6 different niggas. Like they might take Lil Baby, fucking Tupac, fucking Snoop Dogg, and goddamn Juicy J, and make one voice, computerized voice.
Hard
and
shit.
This is the,
God damn. Look at all them niggas in one nigga.
yes, man, yes.
So
This shit fucked up. So what they gonna do with what the fuck?
So that's
The human niggas not finna stand a chance.
so
bro.
so that's again, that's why a person like me got to speak, because it's almost like, you know, I love our people, but at the same time too, an executive shouldn't be able to tell me when it's time for me to go. When I probably was here before you even knew how to do this. So that's my problem with what they doing in hip hop right now. They trying to make all our stars kids. When I first started listening to hip hop, man, it was grown people doing hip hop. They changed it once they figured out the money. Now think about all the money that's in this situation and in this. You seeing an artist on a damn car commercial before you know what his music is. Don't you see that this is a new way to enslave us, to make us work for every kind of brand out there until it's nothing left? So they use you up. Your career is shorter because now an artist don't even have time to grow to the different levels. He's put out on all platforms as soon as he come out. It burns your brain up before you even understand what it is to be famous.
Them facts right there, Gipp.
You see what I mean?
Them facts.
It's so.
And you don't know what come with this shit, cause you ain't grind, you ain't did shit. You famous.
Right.
You know what I'm
Overnight.
saying? You famous, and nigga, you got the money, and now you gotta go through everything without going through nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't been through shit, but now you finna goddamn be out here and know what to do, how to manage this money. That's impossible.
Right.
And I feel like if I didn't say nothing, see, I don't really care about being friends with people because people know me. I ain't never been to these folk party no way. I ain't never been under these folk. I ain't never stroked no ball hole, no scrotum, pimp. It just don't come that way. It just, I'm not giving it because the reason why I'm not giving it's just like, at a time when we wasn't accepted, I keep that with me.
Yeah.
And then when I see Luke not get represented, I say, see, I'm going to keep this chip on this shoulder. It's going to keep me safe. Because
They had backlash about that or something?
Yeah, it was backlash because how can you have the Grammys and not put the man that made it where you put a parental advisory sticker on your record? Like, that's a part of cultural history.
Right.
And at the same time, that man went to jail for hip hop.
Yeah.
True story.
If he didn't go to jail for hip hop, it wouldn't have been half the stuff that we listen to now. It wouldn't have never been. So when I see that, I just have to speak on it. And again, to all the artists, man, I have no problem with no artists out here. I've never really cared about what other artists do or how they do it. I just was only here to represent how Atlanta do it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And
Facts.
I have no complaints. I have no desire to change that, because when I look at what we have become as a city, I know that energy that they put in us in that night at the Source Awards, it came back and we fed it to the city. And look at the city 20 years later, we still got that thing of we gonna do Atlanta. You know, when you look at Lil Baby, I was so proud of him when he did that black and white song. Like, it just showed his diversity.
Right.
You know what I mean? When people didn't think he had it. So just to watch all the artists, man, watch what Tip done and watch what Ludacris done. You know, like, I've watched what Jeezy did, you know, like, to live through that and what he did in Atlanta and the club situation was phenomenal. It's like, what Alex A.G. did for our club scene here, phenomenal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I can really say that, hey man, like, Gipp gonna speak, and I'm gonna say the unpopular shit, cause I don't have to really bite my tongue, because I fought the fight for us to be respected.
Right.
You know what I mean? So all I can say is, hey man, when I spoke, before I spoke, I went in the studio with that man over there to my left, James Worthy, and we went in the studio, and I did 5 songs that we just put out. It's only been out a month, and we already did 6 million downloads. So for me personally, as an artist that come from a whole nother galaxy, I'm reborn again through music. And I ain't tripping, because Goodie Ma booked to 2024. So don't never think I ain't moving or doing nothing that's progressive. I just don't care about being famous.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just see that this is what the business is now. It's about being famous and being a personality. When I'm like, nah, man, this music, man. Let's take the business and all the money talk out of it. Let's get back to, we don't even talk about music no more, because everything is a business.
Yeah.
And I didn't come in this business to be about the TV and be about all the other stuff. I only came into this game to be a musician, to be an artist. So I knows nothing else. And I applaud everybody out here that done did extraordinary things. But, you know, some people are here for a purpose, and some people are here for other things. I'm just here for music. And at the end of the day, the crown jewel for me, at the end of the day, is always gonna be seeing Future
Yes.
Tour the world and do arenas every night, bro. Like, to watch him be like come from the dungeon.
Yes. Yes.
And watch him turn meathead in the future.
Yes.
And become a whole nother artist. Like, it's been incredible for us as a collective. And I tell people all the time, bro, all of us are still alive because of the music that we created. And everybody can't say that.
So let me ask you this, because you were just speaking on like being a part of the movement to make sure that Atlanta was respected. Let's talk a little bit about you and you being from Atlanta, and talk about what side of town you're from, and kind of go into that.
I'm from East Point.
Yeah.
I went to Woodland.
cities.
I went to Woodland High School. I went to Russell High School. I'm from the old Point. You know what I mean? I went to school with Kamala. You know what I mean? I went to school with the Stray Cats. You know what I mean? Like, it was a whole nother world then. Atlanta was different, because Atlanta was really like, it was the Huxtables and it was ghetto at the same time because dudes that came from good households will knock your head off just like folk from the project.
Yeah.
So Atlanta always been like that, where it don't matter where you from, it's how you get it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So me just coming up, I come from Ben Hill, County Line, moved to East Point. I met this lady named Jean Carn. She went to Washington High School. She was a pop star, a soul singer from Washington High School. She was the first one that taught me about music. Her nephew was Peebo Bryson. So I used to go with her to her shows at Sensations on the East Side. And at her house is the first place that I met Stevie Wonder. I met New Edition. I met a lot of artists that were considered soul and kind of R&B-ish. So I didn't come into the music business under the moniker of rap. You know, I remember the first concert she took me to was to the Fulton County Stadium. That was the first time I met Jackson 5 as a kid. So music to me has always been something that you're supposed to change the world when you speak. And you're supposed to have something to say when you do it. And I just think that it was instilled in me. I went to Paul D. West, I went to Dawson Drive. East Point was really like my stomping ground, Headland Drive, the low. Up the street is where T-Bars come from. She stayed on Headland to the low. At the top of that, in the projects up there, that's where Rico come from. So us as a community, we always was kind of close-knit. And then the first person that I met in the music business that was our age, that was kind of like the forerunner or the leader of us, was Ian Burke. Ian Burke used to have an apartment on Camden Road. And that was the first time Reek took me over to Ian Burke house. Me and Ian, we really got kind of kicked it. We kind of connected. And the next thing I know, Ian took me to JD house when he was at his first house on flat shows. You know, so that was when he was putting Crisscross together. So it was like a time where we was doing that, and then I was in a group called 6 Sense with Yoda from Organized Noise. We was one of the first groups to perform for Bryant Reed and LaFace Records at Club Dion. That was the first time that I met Left Eye. After that, 6 Sense really turned into Organized Noise. That's when Organized Noise started working. From there, Gipp went and got into a group called East Point Chain Gang, which consisted of Cool Breeze, OZ, Cat One. Cat One, that's Southside Daddy from East Point, the producer. And then another guy named Chief. So, you know,
How many niggas in the group?
it was like 5 of us. You know what I mean? It was crazy because it was like,
So what y'all was?
it was
East Point Chain
the
Gang?
East Point Chain Gang, man. All alto talking. You know, like we wore jail suits on the stage, man.
So you
And-
went in Lumberjacks then?
No, the Lumberjacks was Cujo and Timo.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it was like the first time we did a show was at Morris Brown opening up for Cypress Hill. We did that, and that's the first time I saw Jordan perform the Lumberjacks. And yeah,
I seen it too.
that was kind of the first time that we just started understanding who we were at that time. And that's when Rico moved from East Point to Lakewood and got the first dungeon. Where at that time, I went over to Cujo and met him over on the west side at Peyton Park. I mean, Cujo was sitting there rapping, and there was this little dude there. Bruh just stepped back rapping against Cujo and started singing. It was CeeLo. I ran back to the dungeon. I said, hey, man, I just seen this dude on the west side singing, bro. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like that. They said, Gipp, bring him to the dungeon. Well, when we brought him to the dungeon, that's when I found out that Shawty, he already knew 3000 because he was in alternative school with 3000. And then he knew Big Boy from being with 3000. So it was like them three had like kind of reunion, and all of us was kind of like, they are little brothers. Like Big, CeeLo, and 3, they the same age. And then all of us is like 3 years older than them. So
you, Cujo, Timo, and like the rest.
And then the rest of
everybody
us.
else. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why, if you think about it, bro, Outkast never got touched out here. Like, it was like, when they came out, we made sure that nobody ever touched them, because we knew that if they made it, we were gonna be all right. So just recording the album at Bobby Brown's studio, that was the first time, you know, Reek really started kind of like bringing us in and putting us on the Outkast record, because he really wanted to make sure that their record really reached a lot of people. So all of us kind of worked on that first Outkast record. We all kind of felt like it was ours. I remember the first time Greg Street played it on the radio, we all quit our jobs. Everybody quit their job the same day. We wasn't even on the song. But it was like that was the kind of confidence and faith we had in ourselves, because we knew at that time the only other people that was shaking the city at that time were like, you know, the Hard Boys. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I knew Carrie from Catherwood, cause that's where Yoda from. Yoda from Sylvan, Little Baby, them neighborhood. That's where Yoda from. So I knew Carrie from the street. So to me, like, the Hard Boys was the equivalent of what BMF was way before they even got here. Yeah. Because they were the first ones to throw the, you know, the billboards up. And you know, them boys out of the east side at that time, you know, they was Lamborghini back then, but you know, them big money over there. So so it was like, I had seen all that already, you know. So just to see that we went from that to knowing that we had to really make sure that people respected us was our main thing, because, you know, that Social Wars, it really changed us. It really made us come back home and say, man, we got to make sure that every time we open our mouth, we trying to change what people's perception of the South was. And that's the reason why, you know, people looked at the South during that time like, man, all y'all do is strip club music, shaky booty music. And we just was like, we can't use our opportunity not to change people's perception. So that's the reason why we always said we did Southern hip hop.
Do you think like, so when y'all came into the game, obviously you want to make some money, you know what I'm saying? But from the way you speaking, it seems like a lot of it was cultural. We want to be dope. We want to make a difference. We want to put the South on the map. We want to put Atlanta.
It wasn't no money in it then.
It wasn't no money. Okay, got you.
We signed for $20,000 to LaFace. I burnt my shit up in Greenbrier.
20,000. To be clear, 20,000 a piece. 20,000 a piece. Right?
But that was 5,000. Goodie Mall, Outkast got 10. We got 5, but we burnt that shit. I bet I went to Eddie Gold, put a paint job on the lag. Shit, it was over with. Oh, it was over with, bro. It was just like, shit, let's start over. Let's get back out here. That's why it was always a problem for me to do kind of like per diem, free shows, like radio shows. That was the difference between Outkast and Goodie Mall, because Outkast went out there and they were like, man, after the first year, they were like, shit, man, we out here, all we getting is per diem. We in big ass arenas and shit. But I was like, shit, it good. Y'all still 2. But, you know, per diem for 4 folk, That shit ain't going nowhere. That shit ain't going nowhere. So we knew off top, like, we ain't gonna survive like this, y'all. And then we ain't got,
per diem mean?
boy, per diem.
Per day.
Probably about 50 or $50 bone.
Yeah, day.
That thing ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Something to eat.
Yeah, something to eat ain't nothing. And it's that we knew we couldn't survive like that. So that's the reason why we just kind of like, Goodie Mob was always, LaFay was scared of Goodie Mob, man. Like we were terrorists back then, bro. Like we were just first of all, we were older. Second of all, they knew that we wasn't going for a lot of the new kind of shit going on with new artists, cause we were kind of older. We were kind of like, man, we don't want no per diem. We ain't doing no free show. We ain't doing none of that. So they kind of like off top, Goodie Mob was kind of like
Rebels.
we was rebels, bro. Like we had whole photo shoots go missing. Cause LA be like, hell no, y'all crazy. We'll go and just go in the middle of the field, put on all black and burn a flag or something, you know. And LA be like, nah, we ain't doing all that. But what we were trying to do was just trying to just bring the attention back to the South. The dirty South, or just, you know, the differences of laws here, and just how we grew up. You know, it used to trip people out when I used to tell people all the time, like, bro, I never went to school with nobody with black people. That sounds strange to everybody else in other cities. That sounds strange. They'd be like, huh? I was like, bro, I only seen one white person on the South Side as a child, and then it was all black people. You know what I mean? So for me personally, a lot of the things that I was seeing when I was getting around other groups from New York and LA, they were kind of like infused with other people's cultures that I wasn't really, you know, understanding. Like I didn't understand why you had to respect this person because he had a certain type of last name. You know, you held him in a certain regard. And you know,
Which artist you think had the biggest impact to come out of Atlanta, period? Like when they came, then ain't that one of the questions? Mm-hmm. Yeah, which artist do y'all think had the biggest impact, like of all time?
that's hard. That's hard to say simply because when you look at Whoop There It Is, that shit turned into a phenomenal record. Like, like Whoop There It Is, it'd be like
we do music down here.
it look like it's like Outkast is one of them, Jeezy is one of them, Tip is one of them, Lil Baby. It's hard to beat that Jeezy, boy. That Jeezy was hell, boy. That Jeezy was a big. That Jeezy was hell. That Jeezy was hell.
To my impact.
Conversation. When I want to say the conversation, everybody had their. I understand where you're coming from. We done chopped it about it. Everybody had their moment though. Niggas had their moment.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying like
Of all
when
time.
you seen this shit shift completely, and niggas still doing it
But
now.
it shifted a
When
few
came.
times though.
Yeah, we just talked about this on the God show, the Atlanta Commission thing we just did with Ray Daniels. Like,
It has shifted.
It shifted a few times.
Bruh, who had the biggest impact?
He said, Gipp, he said like, when you talk about that shit in LA on the West Coast, you say Pac, and it ain't nothing to talk about. You know, Pac had the biggest impact.
Outkast, cause ain't nobody can throw a concert in Olympic Park in 3 days and sell it out, and people come from all over the world. Can't nobody do that. Can't nobody go 40 days and 40 nights and go all the way around the world for $1 million a night. Can't nobody do that unless you got the actual goddamn catalog.
So if we take,
That's impact.
if we take a duo or group,
I'm saying when you in Budapest,
yeah.
we in Budapest sold out.
If we take the duo and group part out of it,
I ain't talking about impact.
who's the person?
I ain't talking about that kind
nigga,
of
you
impact.
just said.
I ain't talking about
impact.
that kind of impact right now. He talking about, that's just a bigger artist to me. I'm saying like when you seen this shit turn.
Oh, you talking
to that,
about Snowman T-shirt impact?
Yeah, and that Pluto shit with
Yeah,
Diddy.
yeah. Future.
That shit different, bro. It's like that Jeezy.
The Jeezy.
Every car.
Yeah.
Every bitch, young bitch,
Yeah.
old bitch, every nigga, young bitch, old nigga, everybody
Yeah.
around our way.
Yeah, Jeezy.
Everybody.
Future. Yeah, Jeezy, Future, Lil Baby.
Exactly.
Jeezy, Future, Lil Baby. I mean, even Tip had a.
But we gotta pick one though.
But when you having a conversation,
It's hard to pick one.
It's hard. It's hard because, man, how many people beat that Jeezy run?
Yeah, but I feel like when
that was respect, and even Gucci run is just when you look at Gucci run at the
Nah, for sure.
to come back at the end and do what he did. It's like nobody done dropped more records than Gucci
And put more artists on.
and put more artists on than Gucci.
Nah, Gucci
You know,
number one. Bounce
You know.
back. I'm coming from there. I'm doing it how he like, but he impacted a different
but
group of niggas.
but
The have-nots.
But-
now I'm gonna give him that. Like niggas who never thought they could
yeah.
be something, I could be something with Gucci.
Yeah.
I seen Gucci lose that weight, I can lose that weight too. I ain't bullshitting. Like this my man. I get inspired by Gucci. I'm not gonna say that. But what I'm saying is,
I would say Future.
thank you.
I would say Future.
And I ain't saying it because they're my man and my partner. I'm just saying it is.
I would say
Niggas
Future
ain't
because
different.
if you just think from that one little Tony Montana, the one little verse to now we in arenas, like I never thought, you know what I mean? Like he was hot as hell when he was just him and Rocco.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like he was hot as shit.
Shit,
you know what I
and
mean?
this shit ain't dying down.
And-
though.
and-
Shit
and-
still staying hot, keeping the same stigma, same.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Like he had the longest run consecutively. Like he the only one can stand next to Drake.
yeah, but I still can I have something to
Please,
say?
please.
So I feel like speaking on like the whole impact part or whatever, I totally agree with everything everybody's saying about everybody else. But I think another person that we have got to definitely include in top of the conversation as far as impact is Tip. Because at the end of the day, like nobody has stood on business when it comes to this town.
I feel like Tip set the
Whether-
standards for niggas in the street. He did that.
Yes.
The standard, do what we doing. We trapping too now.
Yeah.
He set that, like
Yeah.
set the tone for what the city. We standing on this trap shit
Yeah,
and everything else too in this city too.
Yes, sir.
You can't take that from him.
No. But what I'm saying, I'm not even talking about the trap shit. I'm talking about
No, I'm saying-
just standing
And it
on
ain't
the
sweet
business
things.
about what's right. Like whether it's going up against
That's-
fucking Lil Flip or whether it's going up against fucking Houston's or
Yeah.
going up against
Yeah.
Charleston White or going up against
saying the
whoever,
city.
even with
Yes.
him and Gucci.
Okay, so
going
there's
through
the
that
city.
shit,
but
like-
So there's the
But
city.
that's
and
another
there's-
conversation.
But there's the city and then there's the music game. That's what I think we gotta like
I'm talking about
separate impact
impact.
on the music game or the city. It's two
Impact,
different
bro,
things.
is if a nigga. I'm not taking that.
I'm talking about-
These are my partners. We talking.
No,
about. I
ask
ain't
me.
taking that from no nigga.
No, ask
I'm talking
me
about my
a question.
opinion.
No, ask
Impact is when you keep impacting.
Impact.
When you keep changing nigga for doing shit. When the
Impact.
nigga wasn't buying these hoes, spending their
That's
money on
what
these
I'm
hoes
saying,
at first, till
Imp-
Pluto started talking about that
Impact on what? The culture or the city?
shit. The culture.
Okay,
culture.
got you. That's
Niggas
what
wasn't
I'm
spending
just
their
trying to
money on
clarify
hoes. Niggas wasn't
the.
trying to be fly like they been trying to extra be fly now. Spend their money, do all this shit. They wasn't doing that, bro.
So you saying he's had the biggest impact on the city? You're saying he's had the biggest. I mean, on the culture. You're saying Tip has had the biggest impact on the city. That's what I
mean,
think
I'm not saying on the city. I'm saying for the city.
for the city.
Yeah,
But I feel like that's a different. That's something different. That's not impact. We got to find something else. He the king. We'll give him that. I'm talking about impact when niggas trying to emulate what you do over a long
But
period of
everybody
time.
had their hat cocked to the side.
In a moment. In a moment. You're right.
yeah. But
In a moment. Then ain't nobody wearing their hat like that now.
yeah.
These niggas hair gold because this man hair gold. Now, I'm just saying like the now shit. And last year what it was, niggas wearing big ass hats and shit. The year before that, what they were doing? They were doing some other shit. Buying cars. The year before that, we buying bitch a red bottle.
Definitely changed the sound forever in LA.
Change. Oh no, I'm not even the sound, bro.
I'm just saying the
like,
sound.
How these bitches think? They think different. You gotta be doing this shit. This boy talking about.
That's
That's impact. Am I tripping though?
no.
Nah, you ain't
No.
tripping.
What you think, James?
I agree with him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you set the stone, you set the standard to okay, yeah, all the other shit cool. We get money and we popping fly shit and we woo. That's what the temperature of the world changed to, damn near.
Yeah, cause I wasn't gonna never do it. You know,
What part?
I'm buy them nothing. Boys, we don't buy nothing. We don't buy no jewelry, no cars, no nothing. I'm just from another era, man. I'm just sorry. I mean, I love the young cats and how everybody do it, but I just think that that's the problem with these youngsters, man. A lot of folk getting a whole bunch of stuff that they don't deserve,
Facts.
and that's the reason why these folk you can't talk to them, can't listen to them, and if they judging you by that, then are you really getting to know these people, or are you just getting to know their pockets?
Oh, you know that. That's what it is. But these niggas is setting the tone to, bro, we don't care about that. What's come after this? We doing this for this. I don't know. I ain't saying right or wrong. I'm just saying, like,
Oh, no, that's right.
how niggas think is the impact is what I'm saying. Like, like the impact means a nigga trying to damn near be this too. And this how the shit is shifting to this.
Tupac type shit.
Like, niggas went to trying to get money and shit. When Jesus came out, we getting money. When Gucci came out, niggas got down, trick your ass, rob you, whatever. That was a part of it. But niggas going to the next. It's like they following that boy Bible.
So let me ask you this, Gipp. So with you saying basically like the way everything is going and the way everybody's doing, like you're cool with it and you respect it, but you're not going. Do you think that that's what kind of influenced your Mutant Mindframe album? Because you think differently
I was forced into doing that. Like I was forced.
What you mean?
I never really wanted to be no solo artist. I never, you know, yeah. They always wanted me to be. I mean, that's why I was glad when Ludacris came. Because I was like, hey man, you do me. You do it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I mean, I just always been about team. I always been in groups my whole career.
Yeah.
So I just been about always trying to push others to be great.
Right.
You know what I mean? So me, I was fine with being in Goodie Mob. I was fine with knowing that ain't nobody touching Shawty, ain't nobody touching Cooler, ain't nobody touching Timo. So with me being just growing up like that, my father was military. So me, I've always just been about taking care of the neighborhood. Everybody used to be at my house, you know, so that's just the way I always been. I'd rather push another person to be great than me. Cause I know it take a lot. It take a lot to be a solo artist. And a lot of times I just didn't have that natural arrogance that it takes. My arrogance comes from just knowing you ain't better than me. I'ma eat you. You know what I mean? But as far as just going out here saying, you know, I'm the greatest, I just never was on my own dick like that. I just felt like I'm going to do things that I know you not going to be, it's going to be hard for you to repeat it. So if you think about it, they ain't never been able to even duplicate Gipp. The closest thing to Gipp is Trinidad James. I love him. You know what I mean? But it's like as far as Trinidad James, as far as his subject matter is not like mine. So that's the reason why I say I've never been duplicated, so why should I change what's worked for me?
Right.
You know, so I'm just very comfortable in who I am, but being a solo artist, it just takes another kind of mind frame.
What was it you or Dre 3000 that brought that outlandish dressing to the crew first? Because a lot of people would say he might have was inspired by you from the outlandish.
It was for me.
It was you for sure?
Yeah, and the reason why we did it, I mean, we had a show with Bad Boy up in Nashville, and that was the first time I did it. And I remember everybody like, damn, Gipp, why you dressed like that? And I said, man, if they don't remember nothing else, if they can't understand our dialect, they gonna remember what the fuck we look like. And I just always felt like that was a way for me to really, really be able to distinguish myself. You know what I mean? And I just remember when 3000 just started saying, Gippy, where you getting that shit from? I was like, man, I go to the fabric store. Because it was one day we was with George Clinton, and George Clinton was like, we were talking about something. We was like, we about to go to Greenbrier and get some stuff for a show. And he was like, Greenbrier? He was like, man, how you a star if the folks in the audience got on the same clothes you got? and it stuck with me. You know what I mean? And people don't have to realize that the first show I ever seen a live performance was Prince and Kool and the Gang at Six Flags. So with that being the first time I ever seen 2 live performances, that was kind of like my whole shit, because I was like, okay, Prince wild as hell, but then Kool and the Gang, they cool. So I always figured out that you could be both on stage, but it always you have to be a little bit different when you talking about being remembered, and which I was just talking about as far as impact. See, I know that everybody gonna have a run in this, but it's after all the dust settles down that people really go back and see who really brought something to the game and who really didn't. You know, like right now it's just like the game to me is just so controlled that I'm like, you probably don't even get to see the real artists out here right now, because everybody's mind frame is how can I hook up the new artist, put him in the whole little money game, and shit, make a couple of million off of him, and shit, he ain't gonna last 5 years, so why should I care? But that's not the mind frame that I come from, because I don't do music for the quick money. So I'm not gonna be out here rapping on everything.
What about a street artist though? For them, if the music is a way of like survival, it's like I'm getting into this shit to survive.
Yeah, this shit done changed now. You just said they got robots and all kind of shit. Nigga.
I understand that, but I understand this too. A person that's 25 or 23 years old is not gonna know the value of owning his face and his voice until you don't have it. See, if you go and sign a 360 deal, they give you a couple of million up front. They already knowing you're gonna fuck that money up. They already know you're gonna fuck it up. You're young. So if you go in, you give them a good high hit, you got to remember this too. Bro, they ain't giving you no money. They are never giving you any money that they ain't already made. See, if they...
I'm going to say this, though, Gipp. A nigga coming from nothing don't give a fuck what them folk finna make. If y'all finna give me this, I'm out the ghetto now. Mm-hmm. I'm talking niggas who come from nothing, niggas who rapping now. Like, these niggas who rapping now, these niggas ain't got no job, these niggas ain't got shit but a gun.
And I'm with that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, so these niggas don't give a fuck what kind of deal it is. You can say, I owe you, if I go work at McDonald's, you get something in this contract. Some of these niggas don't give a fuck. Cause niggas be so fucked up. It's the same mindset as back in the day if y'all signing for a 20 and y'all gotta split it. It's the same mindset. So nigga don't give a fuck what's in that contract.
And I'm with you, Bank, but you talking to Gipp, right?
Now I know you know now.
Right.
You know now.
Check this out. I did my first album in Curtis Mayfield house. Curtis Mayfield told Gipp, come to his bedroom. He said, Gipp in. He said, all them the original tracks from Superfly. He said, Gipp in. He said, one thing that I can tell you, never sell your publishing until you ready to retire. I've been in the game for almost 25 years. I ain't never did a publishing deal. I own everything I ever did. Now, I ain't tripping off. I do understand the thing about coming from something. From nothing. And saying that, hey, man, I could take this money and I can do something with it.
Exactly.
You're right. But all I'm just saying is I just need more executives and more people that's old enough to at least sit these artists down and explain to them what they doing.
Yeah.
Because if we not going to explain to them what they doing, then guess what? We ain't doing nothing but taking all our young and dropping them off to the other folks that ain't going to do nothing but sell them at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, the real shit.
So all I'm saying is, if you don't have another hit, young man, at least get your 5 before you go in there. So you got some negotiating power. Because if you just go in there with one and then it run out in 6 months, guess what? They own you for life. It don't matter if you go. It don't matter who shit you rap on. They coming to get the money. So as long as you understand that, I'm fine. But all I'm saying is that more of us need to start teaching these kids the value of it. and not just the money part of it.
You right.
You know what I mean? And then we could go somewhere, because if we sit down and say, hey, look, bro, we're going to get $3 million. I'm going to take you over here. We're going to get you a goddamn wing stop with this. We're going to get you a goddamn something over here with this. At least something that's going to make money for you for the rest of your life if nothing else works. But if you don't do that, at least being an OG, then we ain't doing nothing but giving our kids away to be owned by other people. That's it.
That real shit.
That's facts. That's real. What do you think about situations where, because we've had people sit here right on this platform and say, well, maybe somebody I signed to in the streets, or maybe somebody I trusted that I thought was family didn't do me right by some paperwork and shit like that. But some people in their mind, and I'm not saying it's right, but some people in their mind is thinking like, maybe somebody that don't look like me will do better business. That's just the mindset of some people, you know what I'm saying? When they just go in and try to get their first money, trying to get out of a fucked up situation, if they in the hood or whatever the case is, they just going to find whoever they think they can trust. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these kids is just that when they first start doing business, kids, so they don't know no better.
I would say this. It's too many real leaders in Atlanta. From Bank, from Ian Burke, from JD, to Tip. It's a lot of us that you could kind of walk up on and ask us what's going on. That's one thing I could say about Atlanta, man. We ain't too much with the fame shit. It's like we stand on solid ground. All of
Most
us.
niggas feel like they know already though. Like you can't, like I'm just, let me say this. You can't tell me if I'm in a situation how to handle it and they saying it's some dough right here. Cause some niggas ain't motivated by the music. Niggas motivated by it's a hustle now.
The money.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get what you saying. Like if niggas looking for their art, niggas feel like this ain't even really my art. I'm just trying to get me a jug. Like I said, some more shit. Jugging and finessing came from that side. Like niggas looking at everything as a jug. I don't give a fuck about this rap shit, but then you fuck around and be a big ass star. And you know what I'm saying?
And what about your OG that man put his life on the line for you to be able to get that kind of shit?
Yeah.
Like, everything good, but I'm just like, bro, everything in the hustle.
Nah, look, this is
And-
right
and
here.
I-
Remember Thug said it. He said it in one of the interviews, I'll never forget. He said, I signed bullshit ass deal because I knew what I was. I was just so fucked up. I don't give a fuck. What? Give it to me. Come on, just get. Y'all finna put me in front of the people? I know what I'm finna be. That's how these young niggas think. Like, I don't give a fuck what it is. I need this shot.
And
Get in. I'm just telling you how niggas be thinking.
And Bank, you right, cause I ain't gonna tell you no lie. First time I seen Thug. First time I seen Thug, he came to see Future at the studio. We was at Doppler. And first time I seen Thug, I knew he was gonna be a star. I can't tell you what he walked in there with, but you know, he came in there looking like Thug. and he instantly grabbed me like, he gonna be a star, man. And the next time I seen him, that crucial performance, when he performed Stoner for the first time, that's when I was like, God damn, man. Another one.
That niggas in a fucked up ass deal though, out the rip. You give a fuck what it is, cause I know what I'm finna do. Some niggas know they gonna outwork this little bit ass shit. Like I know I'm gonna be way worth whatever
Yeah.
they see. I'm gonna be able to fix this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm finna
Right.
And see,
I
that's
just be taking they
that's
shot.
him. That's him.
exactly what he did.
And that's exactly what he did, and I really, really applaud that. I'm just saying that, like, the other day when Ray Daniels put that commission together, I said, man, listen, bro,
You went.
it needs to be a commission also that has the ability to go at these record companies and change some of these things that going on with our kids.
Real shit.
We can't be executives for these people and help them rate what's making our community great.
Right.
If we ain't gonna make sure that some of them leave with some money, then guess what? We ain't doing nothing but doing what they been doing to us.
Yeah, you right.
It makes no sense to make all this money and then everybody wind up still broke.
You right.
So,
About mindset though, you know what I'm saying?
but the mindset got to be,
How niggas-
we as OGs got to put this shit out here, because if we don't put it out here and we just leave it on there, it's never a conversation with the young. Like,
Yeah.
damn, OG thought I ain't even think about it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Shawty, you run straight to the jewelry store.
Yeah.
I remember when Icebox was in the middle of the mall. Never that.
Okay, P-Money.
Okay.
P-Money.
Shit, I swear to God,
P-Money, P-Money.
probably, boy, they was middle of the mall. My shouted, CeeLo the one crunked them up. So all y'all, hey, CeeLo was the first one around here with all that big ass shit, man. All that CeeLo one crunk them folk up. So to see where they at right now, let's just make sure that when we giving that kind of another community all our money, are we understanding where are we keeping some of it for ourselves?
Yeah.
And if we as OGs don't say, hey man, it cool buying that jewelry, bro, but buy you some land too, my nigga. All that shit down, goddamn 85, go get some land too, shawty. You know what I mean? So it's about us being educating them past the street shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if we don't, then we are also going to be held accountable for when they fall.
Right.
You know, that's all. You know what I mean? Because, bro, Outkast were young too. They were 18, 19. They been rich since they been 18, 19 years old. So, you know, for them to live this long and never have money problems because they at the same time, some of the OGs sat down and told them, hey man, it's bigger than just having money. You gotta understand what to do with it. Cause, hey man, Mike Tyson lost $400 million. So what's the little money we getting?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. That's all. And you know, that's the reason why I feel like right now just to be able to come back and a month ago, me and James, we dropped this album and just getting the response back for, bro, like, we on the radio, we been added in London. I ain't never been added on BBC radio. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, we in Belgium. We in Bermuda. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at it like this, bro. We doing all this shit by ourselves. Ain't no major with us. And that's what I need to teach. And that's what I want to teach to the youngest, that if you learn the real business of this, you don't just have to always go and take people money. Hey, man, the main thing to me is always going to be like, hey, bro, I ain't never did a publishing deal. So guess what? They ain't never had enough money for me to sign what I write away because I'm a real artist. I wrote everything I ever said. So I don't know nothing about selling myself off for cheap. And I don't care about money like that. You know what I mean? Nigga had money, man. Came in the game on the fourth car, man. I was already doing this. Money ain't never really been my reason or reckoning how I do things. It's just always been about me caring about what I represent. See, I had a mother and father together. My mother and father were together my whole life, man. See, a lot of stuff that a lot of these kids come from, I don't come from that. You know what I mean? But guess what? Gipp was in Dixie Hill, man. Back there with Po'Bird, man. I've been the kid from a good family that always went and stood with the hood or something.
Me too.
Cause yeah, I was like, I felt comfortable in the hood. I felt comfortable in Dixie Hill. I felt comfortable in the Low Guards. It was like, cause Cujo was another beast as a kid. He was a West Side kid, so Cujo was all about the action at all times. You know what I mean? So it's like being when you get that ghetto kid that be off the chain, and you hear partner, it's like, man, we've been going to jail since shit 9th grade together. So for me, I just be looking at it like, I've been the type where I ain't been in so many situations, but since I come from something, I always knew when to walk away. I walked away from a lot of situations that I think would have got other people 25 years, but that was just because I was smart enough to always listen to my father. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm a lot different than a lot of people. And that's the reason why I say, man, I ain't never came into this industry to gain no father. That's why I don't look at no other rappers like that, man. You know what I mean? I be like, man,
I ain't rapping to get a daddy. I ain't rapping to get a daddy.
I don't know what that be about, man. You're like, I don't know, like, cause
What that mean? I
don't, you know, cause
like what?
like these folk be thinking that they got to get a dad in the game out here, man. Like I just be like, bro, no, you don't. I don't know, sell their ass off. Soon as somebody come offer him enough money, that's all he gonna do in the music game.
Yeah.
So you better understand that your alliance better be to yourself and never to nobody else. Because, bro, you ain't gonna do nothing. A person will start a company, sign everybody, and then sell you to some Russians in the middle of the night. So as long as you understand the game you playing, it cool. You know? And that's the reason why me doing a record with James Worthy. Now, y'all gotta really get into this man over here, sitting over this man over here. This was Whitney Houston's, this was her assistant, man. This man here, and I'm learning the other day, he on BBC News, he on the BBC, and the lady say, man, James Worthy on here and work with Katy Perry and Justin Bieber. I'm sitting on here like, huh? 50 million records sold. I'm like, when you ain't told me that, shawty.
So you got super rider, the quiet super rider.
Yeah, like, and so it's so dope to just come with a record like we did, because it's just geared to women and it's just geared to relationships. And I just feel like right now, you know, the biggest thing that I think we missing in black music is just the part where we care about each other. Like, when I grew up, man, I mean, I remember when Atlanta, man, it wasn't enough for Atlanta nigga ride around town, bro, listen to goddamn Keith Sweat, I'll Be Sure loud with the goddamn windows down, straight out there. You know what I mean? Like, niggas would listen to R&B music. You know what I mean? And I'm just thinking like now, man, these kids don't have nobody but Jacquees and goddamn Chris Brown for the last 20 years. Like, Chris Brown had the whole R&B section down. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm looking at it like, yeah, of course.
No, I'm just saying that because we just interviewed Life and we had this whole discussion.
Oh, you did?
This nigga side-eyeing the fuck out of me.
But, you know, it's just, talking about love never gets old. And I think in the black community right now and just in black music, man, we don't talk enough about just us caring for each other. Like, it's all tear down shit. You know what I mean? And it's cool, you know. I come from the NWA, Luke Skywalker era, but shit, at least you had something else. You had BBD, you had New Edition, you had some No Balance. So as us being grown people, how long do we let these people that we work for get this off without us saying anything as a community?
What
Because
you think a nigga need to say though? Like what?
as a community, I think all these black execs need to get together and say, hey man, if you're gonna allow AI artists into the industry, then you cannot 360 people who breathe and live every day. You can't do it. You can't do it, bruh. You can't. Somebody got to stand up. Like, somebody got to stand up, man. And then we gonna make more money. We gonna make more money. But if you gonna let you gotta understand, I've been watching Guru's page. I've been watching a lot of people page, a lot of discussion about this AI stuff going on.
Let me pull this shit.
It's called AI. It's AI artists. I just watched some on Kanye West last night. Man did a whole song sounding like Kanye ain't Kanye nowhere in there. None but the computer. And I'm saying, if we not gonna, at least as a community, fight some of this shit, guess what? It's not gonna be no artists no more.
Right.
And guess what? All they did was butter a few of us up. We took the millions, but we ushered in a whole new artist, and we killed ourselves.
Need for to make some hard. She said they gonna mix all them folk.
Look, AI, and they charting.
End of an artist's career.
And what they doing? They going over to other countries and doing it. Like, they going to Japan, they going to other places, and they creating these artists. And once they get over here, they sold a couple of million records, and there's nothing you could do because the train already gone.
Yeah, and then what that does too, just to break down the AI thing further, is that eliminates the label's responsibility, because it's like, since it's an artificial intelligence, which is essentially not a real person, they ain't gotta buy these niggas no cars. They ain't gotta buy these niggas.
So who
no
writing the
cars.
music though?
They ain't gotta give tour support for.
They writing their own music?
No, they doing exactly what they would do for an artist. They bringing their writers in and making them write songs.
Yeah.
Now,
somebody got to perform it though. Like somebody,
the image performed.
they type it in. I'm saying like what I'm saying is like, do I got to go record it like auto tune type shit? or
No,
Nah.
they're
No,
doing
it's a
you.
computer.
They putting the voices together in
computer.
the computer and
Computer.
typing it
typing
in?
the
I like-
words, and then it's saying the words.
I like
And
Siri-
just
I like
the
Siri- I like Siri
Tupac
talk to-
fucking
How you get the
Coachella
melody?
year.
Because
They got a
it's
producer making the beat.
yeah, they
You know what I'm
got
saying? How you get the melody? How you get the rapper to rap like with a flow?
yeah.
You ever heard?
Nigga, it's
You hear when Siri? You hear when
computerized.
Siri talk to you on your phone and her voice changes and shit? It's Siri.
Exact same thing. Now, so that means that when I say, yo, bro, all I'm saying, I don't mean to diss nobody, but at the end of the day, if an A&R person who could be a great marketing person for a label can go in the studio, buy up everybody on the goddamn billboard, put them on the record, buy up all the producers and the writers, and then call themselves an artist. That's not an artist. That's a record label. So all I'm saying is they're bleeding everything into one thing. And then they're trying to make where it's no different. An artist is no different from them than the person who just knows how to put a record together. And everybody an artist, where AI artists is an artist also. But understand that this is a controlled thing.
Understand what y'all saying? Like,
See,
so
you
I
can
don't understand.
okay if you go.
That's
in there-
just like how they putting these motorized dogs in the grocery store to check out your groceries and shit. Like,
Know what I'm saying? But how the fuck is they being like rappers? Is somebody rapping it out?
Yeah, like it's like a computer. They'll do a song. They have Kanye West voice. The motherfucker gonna rap the song just like Kanye West.
I'm saying, so I'm just using like it. What I'm saying is, it somebody gotta say it?
Nah, matter of fact, I'll explain it for you.
Yeah.
It's Siri. Like talk to Siri right now. Like it's like your phone.
It's basically they got technology to where like let's just say
Siri with a
let's
goddamn-
just say Kanye they got
Siri
Kanye
with a do-rag.
they got Kanye West vocals, right? They could use a portion of his vocals and use his voice reflections and put it into their system. So whatever you supposed to do on that record, they could use that voice reflection.
they
to make it
type in the
sound like-
cadence, they
Yeah.
type in everything how they want it,
Damn.
and then the computer spits it back out in that cadence, in that mixture of voices, however you want to play it.
Yeah.
So they gonna have a big ass Coachella with no artists. With the
All the
thing.
artists gonna be one nigga.
Or the hot.
I'm saying like different
Yeah.
holograms. Like let the people come out and jump around to holograms.
But if you really think about it, it's
But that's
already kind of
basically
been
what
done.
the metaverse is. Like,
Yeah.
they've been pushing the metaverse shit for like 2-3 years now. That's basically
Yeah.
that whole agenda. Like,
But I can't tell you this, Scream, man. I ain't had a great time for 25 years. I ain't been all over the world. Rap has been great. All my homeboy, they good. And I can't do nothing but live another 20, man, because I got a new TV show coming out, On 10, with Man Robinson.
what's the name of it?
It's called On 10.
Okay.
It's coming out. Got Vivica Fox, a whole bunch of people in it. Clifton Powell, everybody. Doing a comedy TV show with Tori Hart, Kevin Hart's ex-wife, doing one, and what's LeVar Walker, the comedian. So
Is that the guy from Reading Rainbow?
Oh, that nigga funny. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like, for me personally, I'm just gonna go to the TV and do more TV, and just expound about and being an artist. And then, like James just told me, like we probably have to go to London for the BBC Summer Jam. So just to be able to get back out here on the road, man, and create and recreate a whole new situation for me after this long, I'm totally ecstatic. I'm having a great time.
What happened? What happened in that conversation? Just for we like clarity on Big Facts. What led the conversation for you to say that Tupac would have took Beyonce from Jay Z? That was
What?
you said,
Well,
He said
well,
what?
I saw a clip, but I didn't see the whole. He said if Tupac basically was alive, he would have took Beyonce from Jay Z. Is that?
Again, man, Jay, no disrespect, cuz. No disrespect. Beyonce love you, baby. You had my baby dancing with you out there in LA for the Oscars and shit. So the reason why I said that, because I knew Tupac,
Okay.
okay? Tupac was another animal, bro. Like, Tupac was a superstar before we knew what a superstar was in rap music. He had everything that it took, and everything. If you think about it, he was the first sex symbol as far as rap in our generation. Thirdly, he the one set the whole blueprint on doing 5, 6, 10 songs a night. He started that, you know. And then another thing is that, shit, bro, like I don't know too many people that could sell 6 million records from the grave. So it's like his impact was crazy. You know what I mean? And my only thing was because I already knew, if you knew Tupac back then, like he was the only dude that could get next to Madonna. What other rapper could get next to Madonna back then?
Yeah.
What other rapper could get next to Kadada, Quincy Jones' daughter, Janet Jackson? He was, bro, when that dude walked into a room, bro, it was something else. He was just a phenomenon by himself. And then he had a skill that other rappers didn't have. He actually went to school for acting.
Right.
So he had a skill that was not just
anybody.
Yeah, it wasn't an everyday thing to have that kind of skill and to understand Hollywood at that time. During that time, Hollywood and the music business didn't even deal with each other. So he was the one that really joined Hollywood and the music business together. So you just got to look at the impact that Pac had, and at the end of the day, like you ain't gotta ask me. Ask Andre Rison, man. Pac was crazy, man. Pac pull up to your house and pick your girl up. With you there. And didn't give a damn. So I don't know too many people that had them kind of skills back then. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I would say that. Anybody now, they've been able to watch so many other rappers do it. I mean, of course you know how to do it. Of course you perfect. Of course you got it all down packed. I'm talking about when didn't nobody know what the fuck was going on. Didn't nobody control it. Didn't nobody understand what nobody was doing. Everybody was just doing what we had in front of us. And I just feel like Tupac, during those times, he was further than a lot of us in the game. Just because of his experience of being from New York and the West Coast. He was just more diverse than a lot of the regular rappers at that time. That's all.
That makes sense. That's clarity. Big facts.
You know.
No, that's clarity. You know, you can see a clip and get some shit fucked up. 'Cause it's just a clip.
Yeah, because they did be, you know, Gipp, man.
All right, well, if a nigga say that about you, we gonna say that. Nigga, you think Tupac take your wife?
Shit, if she want to go, shit, he
But
might
do
say
you
the right.
think that?
Do I think that? I don't know, man. These girls do things they want to do. I don't know. Like, that would have to be a personal question. Like,
You ain't get what I'm saying.
do I think that?
You don't think that.
What?
So if you saying another nigga like, you know what I'm saying? By you saying
I said that in that time
In that content,
in that
yeah.
context, but I didn't mean it in that context.
Yeah, I get what
That's
you're
what
saying.
I was
just-
yeah, that's what you exactly.
I was
trying
just
to get to the bottom.
You just talking shit.
Yeah, I was just saying it. That's how what I did on Dialogue. That's how we talk in the barbershop.
Yeah.
They asked. They said, "Gil, were you mad?" I said, "No, really. I just gave you how Southern niggas talk in the barbershop.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get you to say right
yeah,
now. Yeah.
And then if you understand that part, then you understand that I wasn't really tripping on you. I was just saying that the man was that type of dude that
Exactly.
if the baddest girl in the room, he gonna try to holler at the baddest girl. And it wasn't no slight to you or to him at that time. You know, I was just saying that that's how he was. Like, if he seen Janet over there, he gonna go over there, "Hey, Janet, what's happening? You see it? You like it?" You know what I mean? He had that kind of spirit. So, I'm
I get what you're saying though, because you know niggas talk different from when we be from somewhere else. Like in other cities and shit, I be hearing niggas talk, I be like, "Huh?" Cause it sound kind of, "Huh?" But that's just how them niggas talk. You know what I'm saying? All them niggas can understand it. Like he be saying that just in comparison, like shout out with that nigga. But nigga look at it like this is a personal world now. Like
Yeah. I didn't mean that, bro. I ain't mean it in that sense, big bro. Like I ain't mean it in that sense. I was just saying, like the man was just a cocky kind of dude. I mean, Puff used to be like that. Puff was a cocky dude back in the day, bro. Puff was cocky.
Yeah.
He was the only one that could match his cocky with Rico Wade. Yeah, he could match that cocky all day with that West Side shit. So it's like, I understand the cocky shit, and certain people had it during them times when other people didn't carry it like that. You know what I mean? And I can't say that Puff was one of them cats. He was way advanced when it came to present himself and how he was gonna do it with Bad Boy. he was advanced. You know what I mean? So no disrespect to Jay, cause I mean like Dame Dash, man, people don't talk about him, bro. But how y'all just trying to write Dame Dash out the game?
You think they trying to write Dame out?
I mean, they don't get everything that everybody doing is the shit Dame was talking about. But everybody kind of did it without him. But at the same time, like, to the way Dame talked back then was just so ahead of his time too. You know what I mean? Like, all the record labels didn't want nobody talking like that against them. So, you know, just looking at what he did, looking at what P did, looking at what Jay Prince did, like, them dudes really stood out there for a long time with not the backing of New York and not the backing of LA. So that's all I'm saying, is that people don't understand that New York always got the backing of New York. It's a whole nother room regarding New York. You know what I mean? And the South don't have that. The South just got everybody that I came up in the game look like me. You know what I mean? And that's because of where I'm from. But in LA and New York, it's another situation that goes on. It's other people that's involved with a lot of the success of those artists. And I'm saying that from Atlanta, these artists didn't have those advantages. You know what I mean? So, no, I'm not tripping over it. I'm just saying that our value was only the music. We didn't have anything else to kind of like go to or try to flip our star to or our fame to. It was about us making sure that we was just the best every time we dropped the album. And that's just, you know, Outkast is the only group that ever dropped platinum album. Every album they dropped sold more and more and more. Whereas when I say that who bigger than Dungeon Family in the South, we the last crew that dropped an album in 2010 that sold diamond. It's nobody from the 90s that got a diamond album. So we stand as a crew with a whole bunch of people from the 2000s. So just understand where I come from.
What if y'all did a versus with the whole Dungeon Family against?
Ain't nobody could beat her.
I was just about to say that.
Wu-Tang Clan.
They can't beat her. They can't beat her because they ain't got CeeLo Green, Nas Barkley with them. They could pull out them Nas Barkley albums. You ain't got that. You ain't got a 3000 they could pull out Hey Y'all that stayed #1 for 8 weeks in London. You ain't got that. And produced the whole fucking album. You ain't got that. So when you talk about anybody, I'll just be like, who you talking about? And once Shawty starts singing, you ain't got nobody over there that can do nothing like that. So there it is again. And ain't nobody beating us live nowhere. Ain't nobody beating Outkast and GOODIE live nowhere. Bad Boy know that. Everybody know that, bro. We've been whooping ass, man, since we've been out. Understand that GOODIE is the only crew from the South that won 3-4 years straight in Vibe for live performances. Nobody touched us. So when you say, hey man, why you got a problem with these folks? Come man, these folks know when we whooping their ass, they ain't want to give us no awards. You got these stick men out here talking about they great. Man, motherfucker can't do shit. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna tell you what it is.
What you feel like? What you feel like they ain't doing though? What you feel like? Like what's the issue? What Gipp like? Y'all nigga got me fucked up. What make you feel like these nigga got me fucked up?
Well, first of all, at the end of the day, you can never ever write us out when I'm on every Outkast album ever came out.
How you feel like they run you out though? See, we gonna get it out.
Okay, so how you feel like? First of all, you gotta look. I've been banned since my first record. I've been banned. I got banned my first record. So I got blackballed first record, cell therapy. Why is in our culture, when you come with knowledge, motherfuckers turn their back on that. But they love all the street shit. But anything that makes us look smart in the industry, they turn their back on. And do you think that them other motherfuckers that put the money into this shit, why they don't never stand beside nothing that make us look good, but stand behind everything that make us look fucked up?
Damn.
Tell me that, bro. Tell me why you just now seeing Public Enemy on the Grammys. Why does anything that represents us in the good light don't get no light? So when you look at an artist like me, I'm just a renegade, my nigga. I know that the trophies don't mean nothing. Because anything of value to my community is always shunned.
So who is it though? Like,
Who is it?
Like, who is it? It's the congression. Is it the people? Who is it? Like, who?
Who is they?
Who is they?
Say who is
Yeah,
they?
who is they? Who is they?
It might be your lawyer.
It might be your lawyer.
Just think about this. When an artist come into the music business, they tell you who you signing to, who gonna handle your money, who gonna be your lawyer. And they all from the same community. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's nothing bad, but it's just the truth. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it's us being artists, executives, and everything else. I'm not upset because somebody running the game on us. I'm upset that we keep letting people run the game on us.
Nah, that's hard right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You ain't upset because they move. You upset because we going for the move.
We keep letting them go for the
Yeah,
move, bro.
yeah.
If we gonna keep letting them go for the move, then we are the game and we are the prey of the game as long as the game is being played. So when an exec want artists like myself or artists like James or any of us who've been in the game and been able to survive and they could tell these young kids something, first thing the execs try to do is tell us, OG, y'all too old, man. Them kids ain't, man, let me tell you something, bro. How a nigga that just started listening to hip hop when he got to college tell me something? And who are you to tell me when I need to lead their business when, bro, you work for somebody else? You don't own that the company you work for, you don't own. So how you telling artists that it made an impact in something, it's time for them to go? No, that's because you let them folk indoctrinate you with the game of rape. Rape your own folk. And I'm gonna give you bonuses and more money at the end of the year. Don't tell them nothing bad about this shit. Tell them everything good about it. So when you look at an artist like Kendrick Lamar, it's like, we only got one Kendrick. We only got one J. Cole. I'm just saying, y'all, as far as us being a community where we don't got no Queen Latifahs no more. We ain't got one Queen Latifah. We ain't got one MC Light. We ain't got nothing to at least balance out the perception of what people think of us as a community.
You right. That shit funny, but you right.
You know what I mean?
It's like it's all one way. It ain't no balance.
Ain't no
It ain't no R&B. No, it ain't no R&B. It ain't no motherfucking like no
Conscious rappers.
conscious. No, none of it. It's just all one way. So that's all you. It's like.
And then so an artist on the come up gonna think that's the only way.
It gives no other. It gives no other examples. It gives no other examples, and all I'm saying is we
But
can't.
I think it is artists out here that's trying to do that though. What that shit just ain't working out.
Well, you know what it is. What it is, and the industry tells me this. He said, "Gipp, you know what? This is the bad thing about the industry. All the trash rappers, they got all the money, and all the good artists, they ain't got no money."
That's you.
like, and I'm just like, it's kind of hard though, cause you got to think about it. Like, most artists, if they really love music, they ain't got no money, man. Like, they ain't got no money, man. You know what I mean? Like the hustling shit didn't come to late in this rap shit. Like the hustling shit came late where niggas really like, well, I'm a hustler to do my thing. Yeah. But a real artist, man, he living on 2 bologna sandwiches and some fries, man, every day, man. Like, it's just that what it is. And I'm just like, you know, but one thing I can say this is that this art, man, has changed a lot of our lives in Atlanta. And I just look at it like, if we don't at least start talking against the things that is disrespectful and wrong to us, then I think that all of us is gonna lose it in a minute. Because sooner or later, they ain't gonna do nothing but buy all us out. So if we don't at least start as OGs kind of trying to retrain some of the young to at least think a little bit like us. I think everybody just thinking on money, you gonna lose it because money is really, it ain't nothing in this game. Because the reason why I say that, because somebody can give you a couple of $1 million deals today and then come in tomorrow and then the president and the person that signs you get fired. Now you just a lost cause and you get shelved.
But niggas still got that money though. Man, these niggas be fucked up though.
I know, but see,
living out like fucked up like
let me,
die.
hey, Bank, they starting,
be needing anything.
they starting to take the money back now.
How?
They starting to take the money
You
back.
getting the money? Ain't no way you getting the money back.
They starting to take the money back now.
How?
So because with them putting the life insurances on you, with them giving you this kind of money, they are putting provisions in these contracts that if you don't give them the certain music at this time and that time, now they can start taking the money back. So now you can't take your name off that contract, but now they can take the finances back. So
So you think they knocking these niggas off to get the insurance policies and shit?
Nah, I ain't done.
I don't think that they knocking niggas off. I think that they already know niggas gonna put themselves in a situation where
To get
shit,
knocked off.
that's gonna be already free money, you know? So,
But I know bitches that do that though. They fuck with niggas and get their social security numbers and know they in the streets and shit and take insurance policies down there. When the nigga die, they get rich.
and that's something that's really
cold. I ain't
that's
never
cold.
heard that
But I'm saying it goes down because it's just. But see, I'm just looking at what we going through as a community. That
What's the first step to change?
the first step to change, we have to first of all deal with accountability. You know what I mean? L.A. Reid and Babyface, man, really came to this town and really put some culture on it. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying that once I was able to walk into a studio with L.A. or Babyface, it made me want to change and be bigger than the streets. So why do y'all think that after the first album, 3000 he ain't dressed like the streets no more because he wanted more? So all I'm saying is having the opportunity to do music at a bigger place. All these kids just coming to this shit thinking this shit street, man. This shit's so much bigger than that. Like Jane tell me all the time, man, Gipp, man, it's the world, it's London, it's Germany, it's Paris, it's all that kind of shit. But if you're not thinking about that kind of shit, man, this time and your moment is so fast now with social media. So all I'm saying is that if you don't have at least a bigger mindset of being bigger than the street, then how can you be future?
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You saying you know how far this shit can take a nigga if he take it serious.
That's all.
Like
That's all.
The music shit you doing, that's your dream. Shit can take you places you can never imagine. Now that's true. That's real shit.
That's
right
all.
there.
That's all I'm
You
saying.
do it the right way, this shit can take you. Yeah, you right.
But,
Right about that.
but I got some home, but they be like, man, where Cool Breeze at, man? Everybody can't handle this shit, bro. Everybody
What
can.
reason?
He here, but shit, this industry shit, like everybody ain't equipped for it. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't equipped for this industry shit, like
Yeah, that shit's
mentally.
stressful.
You know, like, I could be for real. Like, even with me, like, I quit music for a long time, for a good little minute,
Wow.
just because it got sad, my dude. Like, losing my nigga Slim, losing Pimp,
Yeah.
losing Soldier Slim. Like, I was close to a lot of these folk that people listen to. So they were my partners. So losing them to music, man, like, it's just like, it made me just not even want to rap no more. You know what I mean? I ain't really pick up the microphone again till I went and started messing with Nelly them. I was on the run from the police. I had a warrant and shit. And I was like, man, I'm walking down the street on Sunset. And Ali pulled up, and I went and did that shit with Nelly, and I winded up doing 5 years with them, selling what? Sweatsuits sold 8 million, grills sold 9 million. I mean, I went somewhere everywhere and sold records, bro, but it's just like the lifestyle get tiresome, bro. Like, man, shit, went through a divorce, lost houses and cars, had to start over.
Why you get a divorce? What happened?
Shit, I was just too wild, shot. I was having goddamn too much I was doing too much, man. I was, you know, Gipp was first of his kind, bro. Me and Joy was the first hip hop couple, like
Yeah, for real.
before anybody.
For real.
So,
For real.
you know, doing Joy, that was Dallas Austin's second hand. She was with Madonna everywhere. You know, Joy was a whole nother beast then. You know what I mean? So me being with her, being that I'm from Southwest Atlanta, East Point, it was just a total, it was like some Bobby and Whitney shit. It was rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't on what they were doing. It was just, our shit was just wild rock and roll shit. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know. And then me, man, like shit. I got a lot of girls, man. I can't help it, man. You know what I mean?
You got what?
Them women, bro.
You got a problem.
My hair long.
You got a problem.
My hair long, man. I'm taking all invitations, man. I'm writing prescriptions. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Everybody get a shot, man. What the hell? Man, I'm from the gentleman club, man. I'm trying to gentle. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I think it was just that again, that's another thing I would tell a young artist, man, like, you got a long time to live. Don't think about marriage till you 30 or 35 years old, man. I'm telling y'all.
You got a long time to live.
That's fucked up.
I think he finna tell a nigga to stay off drugs. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that.
I'm just saying. The only reason why I'm saying that, cause see, I know you don't know yourself when you do that.
Real shit.
I know you don't, because I was dealing with fame, having more money than I ever had, and still trying to be a father like my father was to me. My father worked at UPS and was a soldier, so he came home every night. I didn't. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, trying to be young, trying to be famous, trying to understand the shit, not trying to be lame and shit. I mean, shit. All three of us supposed to get married. I'll tell y'all some shit. All three of us supposed to get married.
All three of who?
Me and Joy, Dallas and Chili, and 3000 and Erica. We all were gonna get married together. Boy, them two niggas bagged out in the last week. I had to go on and do it, shout. I couldn't even bag out. Them two niggas bagged out. And then I was like, shit, I wind up getting a divorce, man. Shit, man, I should have bagged out.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying. I'm just being honest because I'm saying
Married to get divorced.
I was too young to try to be
What you needed to be for
a
her.
star. My child, Keith Sire came right out the hospital and went right on tour. So
What let me ask you this. What y'all think is the qualifications of a nigga being a married man? Like, what's the qualification?
I would say at least knowing yourself. Most men don't know ourselves till we pass our 30s. And I'm gonna tell you, because women change 5 times. Women change when they start 16, 21, 25, 28, and when they go into their 30s. When they get to their 40s, yeah, but they be a whole nother person too. Cause then when they get to their 40s, they find out they still fine, everything still work, and shit, they still gonna be able to find whatever they could find when they were younger. But men, we have to understand what it is just to be a man, to be able to take care of ourselves. Most of us still, you know, for a long time, man, I still kept my mom over certain shit because I'd be like, I ain't about to be doing that shit. Like taxes and shit, a lot of shit that we don't know. I think that we should know that shit before we get involved with somebody else and try and be they other half. Because a lot of us don't even know what it is to be a man, really, when we get married before 30. And a multi-millionaire told me that. He said, hey, man, I tell all my kids, don't even think about that till you get 35. Don't even think about that. Get your life straight. Get the way you gonna live and the things that you gonna do for yourself. You can't have a goal for somebody else when you ain't reach yours. You can't do it. And being in a marriage at a young age, both of y'all trying to figure out what the fuck going on, Both of y'all trying to figure out what works for both of y'all, but money is a big thing in marriage. And you don't know that till you get married. Shit leave real fast when it's two of y'all. But when you add a child through it, and music, interviews, going out of town, the same person that loved you last week, it can start becoming jealousy because that person's left with the child and you out there doing that. So you gotta understand that it's a hard thing to try and balance fame and family, because family really needs time for family. And money does not erase the time that's lost. That's all.
Real shit.
Jim, some big Gipp, man. We appreciate you pulling up the Big Facts, James Worthy. Salute, man. Definitely check out their music. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing. And make sure you check us out, too, at www.bigfactspod.com.
Salute.